Yo, alright everybody, welcome back to episode 34 of the Michelle and Tony show, right? So after hours of meeting, going outside, meeting with our committee of people and our this thing, we've done a lot of meetings and we have finally decided that the Michelle and Tony show is going to be continuing, right? So yeah, I know I'm as excited as you are. And for this particular episode, we are just basically going to be talking about a trending social issue currently in Nigeria, which is the mass killings of Dangote cement truck driver. I repeat, the mass killings of Dangote by Dangote cement truck driver. By Dangote cement truck driver. And before I say anything, I would like to say RIP, to the 600 level pharmacy unit student that just lost his life. Pray that the good Lord shall comfort his family and give him rest in heaven. Amen. Alright, Tony, so
and
what
RIP to the main topic of today,
which is
finances.
okay, yeah, I'm just RIP to her too, yeah. It's not like that, RIP to her too, alright. So let's get it from Tony. So like, what are your takes on this, this latest Dangote shit? I mean, you always have something to say, so can't wait to see what you say about this.
I mean, we were having this. I remember when we had this. There was this like, I won't say discussion, but
Argument.
the argument, something
Yeah.
like that, something like an argument. But then you said something about how we should just take down Dangote and this. I'm like, okay, good and fine. You're looking at the way of the, let's just break it down first. Yes, what has been happening is, I mean, it's beyond human. It's insane, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, it's not something that anybody should sit down and try to find logic in it. But the truth is, at the end of the day, you still have to be logical. Whatever step you take, whether or not should not be driven by emotions. Right? If you want any step to be taken, it should not be driven by emotions. The steps that I feel like you should take in this case is not to go after Dangote. Unless you want Dangote to compensate her. You don't go after Dangote's reputation, because at the end of the day, you have multiple persons owning Dangote cement and Dangote's cement factory.
Yeah.
Yes, it might be the highest shareholder, but like, it's not only his money that is in that, like, owning that business. You have other shareholders running that business. So going after Dangote really doesn't make any sense. Do you understand? And then you go after Dangote now with the idea that he's the one that is killing these people. Like, he's not the one driving the truck, for goodness sake. He's not the one driving the truck. It's the people that are found guilty, that are found driving those trucks, that should be executed. Do you understand? Dangote obviously Dangote is, like, you always believe that the more money you get, the farther away from obviously it is, you're looking at people that are in charge of these things.
Yeah.
Right? There are people that are in charge of assigning new drivers, disposing bosses to those drivers and doing all those things, right? You are expected to, like, reason. Yes, it is Dangote's company, good and fine. But there are people that are also in charge, right? And Dangote probably doesn't even know about, like, he doesn't even know them, like, on a regular, like, on a one-on-one basis, you get. And then those people appoint, would I say, inhumane drivers, right? Drivers that are not good at, basically. Do you understand? And then you have to look at all these things, consider this before you start thinking that it's Dangote's fault.
Yeah.
So, like, that was my first take on this thing.
Alright. Well, I finally understand the perspective you're trying to come from. When we had this, I won't call it a big argument. I mean, compared to some arguments of ours, you can't call that a big argument. But like, we had this, this momentarily argument about this Dangote shit and all. Well, to be honest, I never really cared about, this Dangote shit. Like, to be honestly honest, until when I saw the news about an entire family getting massacred. Right, that was when like it actually concerned me. Like, this thing actually bothered me. And in the essay, in the essay exam that we wrote yesterday, I could have gone with just writing an easy memorandum, but I chose to write a formal letter to a media publication telling them about this same Dangote issue. Even if I know it's not going to happen, but like just a way to express what I think. For me, I believe that I love your approach too. I love the way you approached it, the way you said in as much as it is not humane, right? But you still need to take a rational approach to it. What I said, like shutting Dangote out of the company, is not a rational approach. It's an emotional approach, and it stemmed out when I was thinking and all these things. It was basically paining the hell out of me. So yeah, I'm going to say that that one was an emotional approach. But then at the end of the day, something needs to be done, right? At the end of the day, I mean, look at VDM. VDM is pulling the weight, but like what can VDM actually do? Like, I mean, yes, he's doing something, but like, man, VDM. At the end of the day, VDM is just VDM, right? Like, there are places VDM cannot go. There are things he cannot touch. There are powers he cannot access. So he grab. Now, my major concern here now, right, is not even Dangote. If anything, I like Dangote. I love billionaires because I want to become one. If anything, I love Dangote. My major concern here now is not Dangote. It is the government of this so-called country, right? Okay, the governor of the state of the place where this thing is happening is not saying anything. The president is not saying anything. All these motherfuckers are not saying anything, right? Like, then why are they now president? In that letter I wrote yesterday, yes, I mean, I understand that Dangote is actually supplying things to our nation and blah blah blah. But I also pointed out that the major priority of every state is the life of civilian citizens. That is the major priority of every state. It does not matter whether he's giving police cars or because of him our sector and economy is booming. If our sector and economy is booming and all these things because of Dangote, but human lives are being lost, then personally I'll say it's not worth it. Personally I'll say it's not worth it.
So the thing is here, you have to look at it as, okay, what are you saying? That do you want to like consider Dangote's company as like a terrorist group?
No, he's not a terrorist group. Like I said here, if anything, I even like Dangote. Exactly. So you grab. Okay, so now, like instead of looking at Dangote as the guy that refused to own up for what he did, I'm now shifting the blame to the government that refused to actually tag the guy for alpha. So you grab that kind of thing. So I like shifted my focus from Dangote himself for refusing to own up for what he did, right? So now the governor and the president and all these people that are in charge of the state now, like what are they now actually doing?
Yeah, because what I'm hearing is that the trucks they're not licensed. Some of them are not licensed. Yeah. Some of them are not, like the drivers too don't have licenses. Like it's just, I don't know. The people who are running this department in the company are not doing well because it is causing nuisance to, you understand, like society. That is what the government steps in, right? Yeah. And like you see that the government doesn't really give a fuck, you know. They don't care about human life, they don't care about the business and their welfare. Because from the get-go, they come to office and they don't even do the needful, right? Yeah. So you expect a civil government, a reasonable government to come in, whether or not be the state or even the local government chairman, whatever this kind of news come out from, and then you can't expect them to say something about the situation. I'm not saying that they should go after Dangote or his company, but I feel like they should assess the company to know how well run it is actually. You get my point? Yeah. They should assess the company. I don't think it's Dangote's fault because definitely he has people that he has placed in charge of those departments. You get? Yes, but you can go after them reasonably. You don't have to look for a way to remove Dangote's cement company, or go after them reasonably and try to get the what's good, because what VDM came out to do was in and out looking for compensation. It's just a short term solution to just one person out of the many people that have suffered from this issue, and it's something that I feel like will still continue happening, right? So you have to look at a solution that would solve the problem for a long time, which is government officials going to Dangote company and wanting to know how these people are actually giving this, how you are actually giving these people the authority to run this, like how you are like running this department or your company. You understand? So that is just basically what I would do in the right sense.
There's something you said that day when we were arguing, which actually is very true. I think that no, I think it's very true. I think that like Dangote, the name Dangote now has rooted itself so deep in Nigeria that okay now for example let me just give an analogy like what VDM is doing. VDM is cutting off the roots and the stems and all these things, but like Dangote has rooted himself so deep in Nigeria like Nigeria is kind of like Dangote is kind of like part of Nigeria, right? And like so there's no actual short-term solution to this shit except for something like let's say at least the government comes out and address these people that have been harmed by this shit. She grabbed just like that person that after JAMB failed he cried. Let government do something like that. I'm not saying they should cry. If they don't cry, let them cry. Don't give it down. But like at least let them come out and address people that are actually suffering from this thing, and then tell them that the matter is being looked into at least so that people will know that okay, it's not like anything can solve for this. I mean, the kind of picture that is being painted now is like Dangote can kill you now and nothing will happen. Like that is the picture that is being painted now. Look at Idoko Chukwuebuka, 600 level pharmacy student that died. What happened? Nothing. Like that is just like Dangote can kill you right now. Dangote's truck driver can kill you right now and nothing will happen. And then I also get the thing of you're saying that it's not Dangote himself but it's his truck drivers, right?
Like it's not Dangote himself that is running this department. There are people that are
there are people there and all these things, but like at the end of the day people only look to the person they know. They don't know the truck drivers. They don't know the person in charge of the department of the truck drivers. Who did they know? They know Dangote. The fucking truck is called Dangote cement truck, so like it is Dangote that they will hold, right? I remember that time when the first incident that happened, when people were backlashing at Dangote, I was like, what is wrong with these people? Is it Dangote that did it? Exactly. But now that I'm thinking about it, who else will they blame? People will always look for somebody to blame, always, must, right? And since Dangote is just like a pure definition of, let's say, Dangote cement company now is just pure definition of Nigeria. Like the center itself, Dangote, is more powerful than the parts. So people don't know like people that are in charge of different departments and all those things. People just know the head, the center, which is Dangote.
That kind of thing now. If you're going to take Dangote to court, you're going to lose because it's not Dangote, it's the company. Because Dangote and the company are
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember reading last week in jurisdiction. If you sue a person instead of suing the company, you're going to lose. Yeah, exactly. I feel like okay. Wait, I want to ask you. Do you let's say Nigeria is as not as corrupt. Like let's say in terms of corruption, we are equal with USA. Yeah. Like okay, I want to, what exactly do you think this thing is? Is it corruption? Is it that we can't actually do anything? Like, is it corruption that is causing us not doing anything? Is it that we can't actually do anything? Or is there something else? Is there like a piece of the puzzle that I'm not seeing?
Like, when I say we can't, I don't think it's we can't do anything. We can, we won't do anything. Do you understand? Or, it's not like, I don't even know how to answer that question because the government is so unpredictable. Like, they don't, like, there's no like, actual, like, you can't really see what's going to happen with this current government, and that's basically the definition of Nigeria. You can't really tell what's going to happen. Do you understand? Yeah. Like Nigeria has come to a point where you can't really define the terms or things that happen. You cannot really see. You cannot really look at things and look at from a statistical point of view and be like, okay, so this is going to happen. Like the government does do those things that you don't like out of the blue. You don't expect them to do. You get, so you cannot really like look at it like you would. The only thing you can just is speculate and look at the possibilities, right? Which is not facts, right? Not facts. You speculate. If you're not looking at stats that will back up your
speculations.
Exactly. Now Nigeria basically now you see someone like Dangote now is so powerful, right?
Yeah.
And I remember there was a time where they refused to make him like supply oil, this petroleum and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he cried on national TV.
Exactly. You now have something like that happening. You think that okay, yes, this government like they have the power. Do you understand? But now in situations where like this, you feel like they should make use of that power. They tend not to make use of that power. So you now go back to look at okay, But then that means Dangote has like ties with this government. Most definitely, he does have ties with the government. And then you look at it as if this government does something to Dangote, like maybe they will go in for it or something like that. You feel like Dangote has something over there. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But you now look back and be like, but then this happened. Like this thing about Dangote and the government going back and forth recently just happened. You know, that petroleum and stuff. So like you don't really like wrap your head in what is like the problem. Why can't the government do something? Why can't the government not do something? You just it's like you leaving yourself in like
exactly.
You're just thinking like what exactly is the problem? Is it that the government can't do anything or they won't do anything? It's just you cannot tell. You can't just tell what the government is going to do, and it has been like that for. I mean, like that's just basically what Nigeria is. You can't just tell.
I mean, I remember that day. There's something I was saying that day. I was like for me, I feel like you said, it's just speculation at the end of the day. But let me just call this my conspiracy theory. I feel like Nigeria has so much to gain from Dangote that they can't shut him or push him away or shove him aside or stuff like take serious measures, right? Then I was not like, okay, for a country like USA now that has every fucking thing they need, they don't even need all these companies that are coming up inside their country. They mostly don't need them. Maybe they do.
Wait, but you know something? Do you think the US has everything?
I know they don't. I know they don't.
Like the US,
let me put it like this. Like they have a way of getting everything they want.
Exactly.
They have a way of getting every single thing they want. And if this kind of thing now is happening in the US, a privatized company, right? A company owned by an individual now is actually doing this much damage, and people know about it, right? And USA is supposed to be that free and liberty and shitty country, right? They must take action. So like what I'm trying to base my conspiracy theory around is the fact that Nigeria does not have everything it needs. So at the end of the day, you actually need this motherfucker. She grab. But USA, let's say in a situation of USA, a country that has a way of getting everything it needs, not has everything it needs, has a way of getting everything it needs or wants, will actually jail this guy up, jail his company, push his company aside, do whatever. Like, create new economical policies that will actually make this guy to beg on national TV and nobody will actually do something to Dangote, like let people see it, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think this thing about yes, in this current US government, yes, things like that will happen. But I feel like in governments where they're not really, because the US too have not been perfect in recent times. I feel like this is the companies that they don't like. That if you look at what's it called, US in recent times, it is what bad things happen to companies that the government don't like.
Like, can you give me an example?
For example, now I'll give you TikTok. During time of Joe Biden.
Yeah.
There was this issue like they almost ban TikTok.
They wanted to ban
right?
TikTok, yeah.
So now the country doesn't like TikTok because one, it's not owned by an American.
Yeah, it's owned by Chinese, right?
It's owned by a Chinese company. Do you understand? It's owned by this Chinese, China, whatever. The CEO is even a Singaporean. So now like have them wanted to ban them, telling us that they are a communist tool or weapon tool that was invented, to they spied this thing, this. They are terrorists. Then you just have a lot of things coming up and saying it's about TikTok. So I feel like even the US itself has been like crazy, like they've been doing stupid things in the past, and like I feel like it's just based on the government, right? That time the government was shitty.
Biden. Motherfucker.
So now you have someone like Trump. I feel like if someone like Trump was in power, right, and you had them doing this kind of thing, like in as much as I don't really see like I don't know if there's a word, but I feel like Trump doesn't really give a shit. Like if he wants to do it, he will do it. And
nobody's going to tell him.
And I feel like he knows what is right, and what is right is Dangote needs to assess the issues in his company. Do you understand? Because they are glaring issues which is causing societal harm, right? It's causing harm to society. So like he will just basically make sure that Dangote addresses the issues in his company. Not necessarily going after his company or staging a protest against him. No, he will make sure that he puts his shit together. Like what he's doing to this guy, the Federal Reserve Chairman now, Jerome Powell. He's basically going to make that guy retire. That guy is really like. So what they're doing is basically what he's doing is he wants a rate cut to happen because the US is floating in massive debt, right? And inflation is just on the rise. So he wants this guy to basically like cut, do like to reduce like the interest rate cut, so that he can have like this increasing the debt rate basically can be, national debt can be reduced, and they can be able to spend more. Then you now have the the first chairman basically trying to show like, oh no, I'm actually the Federal Reserve chairman, like I have power, but like he's telling you that you're causing more harm than good to the society, because what can happen is, if he's too late in cutting those interest rates, it's too late, because if he cut it early, then it's happening. But if he cut it, in a period where it's too late, then the US stocks fear what's it called, massive market crash. You understand? And then you can see like a recession happening again. Like 2008 market crash, and the
29 Great Depression.
Exactly. So you have things like that happening, right? That possibly could happen. And then Donald Trump is basically mounting so much pressure on him. He's not attacking his personal life or attacking him person. He's attacking the issues, right? And being like, you guys basically have to put your shit together and stuff like that. You get? So I feel like Donald Trump will do it in the right way. If the right government to attack the issues that are vulnerable, not
the person. Smart.
You understand? So that's what you should basically. That's what, like in a right setting, what's it called, setting, because now what I'm seeing online is people are going after Dangote, saying, I'm hearing things like he's what's it called, that's how he's making his money.
Yeah, he's an evil guy, he's a bloodsucker, blah blah blah.
So now if people are just going after the man and his whatever he has been, not seeing the endless, work he put into creating who he is, creating this idea of Dangote to the world. Basically, now people are writing it up and saying that's what he has been doing all this while, killing people and making money from that. That is the issues, or those are the issues. If you can be smart and address certain things within the issues within Dangote's company, make them call Dangote to order, the government calls him to order, makes him understand that your company is killing. It's like, I don't know what is going on, but you just have to put your shit together. Who are people that are in charge of this? Take action, do this, do that. Not that you run after Dangote looking for compensation. Like, that doesn't solve any issue. It doesn't solve any problem. Do you get? So that's basically what I would do, and what I would advise the government, a civil government, or what a civil government basically would do. Because my advice doesn't really go anywhere.
I mean, what is your take on what VDM is doing? I think what VDM is doing is good, right?
Yeah,
it's good. I mean, but like,
it's not like a solution based.
It's not a solution.
Yeah, because
I mean, like for me, VDM is he's a people lover, right? So he does things that make people like him. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or he's doing it on purpose, but that is not the issue of contemplation. But what I know is that VDM does things that makes people like him. That is who VDM is. He's the people's person. People like VDM. So I feel like this is approach is more of people like him than what is actually solving any real issue. But like this thing that he's doing now, the way he's pulling all these strings and all these things, people will like him more. But is he solving anything?
No, I know VDM to be the kind of person that's VDM has actually solved a lot of issues in the past.
Yeah.
Right. I remember the time of Ashimushi now, where Ashimushi had that issue now, like, if you can remember that issue, like she had this makeup, like there's a lot of makeup brands that have stopped supplying of makeup because what they do is they supply fake products and it destroys people's face. And VDM has basically shut down, like, if you don't license under now that you don't do all those things. Like he has basically like destroyed that chain, that online, that on Instagram stuff. Like people don't, you barely see all these vendors on Instagram that will sell you, they'll come and sell you fake products. You get? And then he has really tackled a lot of insecurities in this country. He's really tackled a lot of things. He has gone. I remember one time when he had a problem with this Pastor Jeremiah now, and people saw the evils or saw the rubbish to what he was doing, basically selling fake water and blessed water, stuff like that, saying that he spoke to God one time. Like he has basically showed people that these are the issues that are going on in Nigeria, and he's trying to solve them basically. But in this current situation, is he solving any problem? No. I feel like he's even creating more harm than good. Do you understand? Because yes, you have brought the matter to the limelight. People know that these are the things that have happened. Do you understand? But now your approach is you want compensation from my guy, what's his name? Dangote.
Dangote.
But that doesn't solve anything. You get so yes, VDM has done good things in the past and has solved issues in the past, but this approach is taken today or in this current manner did not and has not and will not solve the problem. The problem of Ghana is insecurity caused by Dangote truck driver. They went to take a petition to his company, to the whatever to the government, maybe rally this thing. You need a petition to be taken to Dangote's company. They should be brought to order. That kind of thing. Not that he go after Dangote himself and start saying things and making people think that
Dangote is a goat.
GGM and so. So that's basically what.
Yeah, I mean, immediately say that he's not actually solving any problem. Like, something just came to my mind, and it was the question of what is actually the problem, which is Dangote cement trucks killing people, right? And his approach is not solving any problem. Now, the people that are facing the problem now are in two categories, right? Which is the people that their lives are going to be at stake, and the people that their lives has been taken and casualties and all those things. So maybe his approach is not solving the problem on the side of the people that Dangote cement trucks might potentially kill or the damages it might do in the future. But I think his approach is actually solving the problem of the people on the other side, which is the victims. Because if you're going to talk about problem, I think the victims actually understand what the problem is more than the people that will potentially get hurt in the future. So he's solving the problem for these victims, right? In as much as yes, focusing on the past is not going to take you to the future. That is basically what VDM is doing. But like, maybe I do believe he's solving a category of problem, like not problem in general. Let's say the person that's going to solve problem in general is the person that's going to, like, as he's doing this one, he's also doing this one. VDM is not a god, like I said, bro. He's not a god. He's a person. So I feel like yes, this is the one that he can do. And maybe if he was the president of the fucking country and could find a way to start, gradually uprooting Dangote from the listing. Not like my point now is we're not kicking him out of the country like I said earlier, but like if you can find a way to actually like remove whatever chains this guy has on us, you still let him roam freely in our country, but like whatever chains, any chains he has on us, you find a way to remove it.
I feel like,
and then if the guy actually does, if it's like, let's say if it comes to it, we can actually shut this guy out of Nigeria if it comes to it. But like that is not shit grab.
See, what is it called? Every businessman, every billionaire, every rich man, right? I think basically any rich business mogul, whatever, has to have type politicians.
Yeah.
Because you want to be the number one, the 001 in finance in the country. You need the 001s. You need the people that are politically running the country too at your basically your disposal. And that's what this guy did.
Yeah.
The biggest man in the world.
Elon Musk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is basically what he did, right? Yes, now you know his ties with, his what's it called now, he's coming back with General Trump.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what Dangote has been doing all this while, right? Building ties with people in power, right? So and that's why that's how he has been able to put himself, cement himself in that status, in that level of being the richest man and being the richest black man in the world. He has made it even like a much like bigger this thing, you get.
Yeah.
So people have money in Dangote. Dangote has trust in those people. You get. So now we're not talking about trying to remove him from like the country, remove his chain. I don't think his chain can ever be removed.
Why?
Because now you see Dangote has gotten to where he is, right? He has gotten to where he is because he has to build ties with those people. And like I said, the way he had to build ties was, give me your money, I give you my trust. You get? They gave him their money, and then he has their trust. Do you understand? So now those people if they're trying to do it, if Dangote basically loses today, they lose too.
Yeah.
Like they lose too. And that is basically the chain. I don't want to lose. You get? I don't want to lose. Why would I want to lose? So if you're going to every single politician telling me campaign against or rally and do this thing and try to shut down, put it down. One, you're of course you're looking for enemies yourself, and you're looking for like I don't think there's no possible way of shutting down, put it down, like for the next 5, 6, 7, 10 years, because he has put himself in a good enough situation, a good enough position to really like
survive any uptrend, downtrend, any shit.
Now, like when I was talking about that, there's a word that things happen. Yes, there's still a word that you can still remove Dangote. But it's not like as if you're going to remove him entirely, right? But then, if you put your money in a lot of things, right, a lot of things, and then maybe the system of government changes, like maybe say you make yourself this, like let's say for example in China, you know Alibaba was one of the richest man in China. You know, have you heard of Alibaba? Alibaba is one of the richest man in China.
Yeah.
But Alibaba lost a lot of millions because China decided to come back together and say let's start developing things by ourselves. The government said let's China start producing things by themselves. So the government started producing things by themselves. That means they started diversifying a lot of things into different economies, into different sectors. Because of the system of government that they operate, which is communist. We are not communists, we are mixed. We believe in socialists and what's it called? Capitalists. So we allow individual private owners to own things, and then part of sectors of the business owned by this thing. So we need to work hand in hand basically. So you need Dangote, you still need the government in our system. So you are saying that the government needs to take over, the system of government needs to change, which will call for like it will call for a big disaster in the country, because the idea of democracy will not allow communism to take over. You get? So now in China was able to develop everything by themselves because they're a communist system. That idea of democracy doesn't exist to them. Everything that happens, whatever enters goes out, is the government that decides. Alibaba was not the richest man, but he also got billions because of this. The government has to produce every single thing.
How did it affect me exactly?
Really, like you cannot rely on Alibaba again because the government are producing it and the government has the cheaper rates. You get?
Yeah.
So you shouldn't Alibaba out. Alibaba is still a billionaire, but like
He lost billions.
exactly.
Yeah.
So now you have that kind of thing happening in a system where it's allowed to happen. In Nigeria, it can't happen because you rely on capitalists. Unless you decide that today I change the whole system, the whole ideology of Nigeria. Stop practicing democracy and start practicing communist system, where the government now start producing everything. A system where the government produces every single by themselves. Do you get?
Yeah.
So that was like the only issue that I remember I was telling you that yes, you want Nigeria to produce everything, but we can't produce everything. Not because we don't have the money, just because it's not the system that we are operating. You know, there are things that you look at and I'm like, okay, yes, Nigeria can do it, but like in this system of government, are we allowed to do it? In this system we are practicing, are we allowed to do it? No. You get?
Yeah.
So now, and the idea of democracy has been basically rooted in our mind that we need it. But really, democracy has not really helped us. That was the honest story for another. But democracy has not really helped us. We've tested authoritarianism, basically, and it did not work out for us. Nobody wants to think about going back to that era. Do you understand?
Yeah. So if you what you're basically saying, like Dangote's hold on this country runs as deep as into our system of government.
Exactly.
So
like it's the issues that is even like as you just keep on going, just find out it's harder and harder to just get to somewhere like that status.
So you just need to focus on the route, which is telling the guy how far.
Exactly.
Check out your company.
Exactly. Those are the only ways to like tackle this kind of issues, because if you start to do things in a way it goes against the laws, the constitution, everything, like you have to start addressing all those issues, which is what I say not even like nobody's ready to do that. Like nobody's ready to do that.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Nobody was even if the government decides today that they want to do that, the citizens of the country will protest against it. You will have a big riot in the country.
Yeah, and even though they are doing it for the so-called citizens.
Yes, and you have the citizens obviously winning, because countries like the US, countries like will never want to allow that to happen. Do you get? They will never want it to happen. They will never want Africa
to start producing things.
exactly. We'll never
Because
want.
if we do, they're dead, bro.
Exactly. So that's why you have countries like this guy. This guy now, this military man, head of state in which country is that? In Africa, yeah.
Which country?
That he just recently, like, he's doing so well in his country. Yeah, he's doing so. I really can't remember his name. That he's. Do you know how many attempts they don't try to kill that guy?
49.
He's the military government. He's the youngest military head of state in Africa right now.
Yeah.
And
Wait, but is it 49?
I don't know if he's 49. I don't know. He's very young.
Yeah.
Ibrahim Traore.
Yeah.
That's his name. I don't know the country, sha. This guy. Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
That guy has made Burkina Faso like economically buoyant. Like these people are producing things, they are mining gold, they are doing things that gold. Like these guys are economically buoyant. Like in the next 10 years, I'm looking at Burkina Faso as, with everything put in place, I'm looking at Burkina Faso as being self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Self-sufficient. They produce everything by themselves, right? They have the natural resources, they have every single thing there. They can decide to produce every single thing there. And nobody wants, they basically try to kill this guy. People within the country, people even outside the country, they've been attempts to kill this guy. I remember when he had this problem with Emmanuel Macron, the French president.
Yeah.
Like, he said something bad about him. He said something bad about them too. I told you about Gaddafi. You know about Gaddafi to be this terrorist guy or Libya then.
Yeah.
But do you know that Gaddafi was putting Libya on a trajectory to become one of the greatest African countries? But he was killed because he was a terrorist. Why? Because he was practicing this authoritarian what's this called?
Government.
Like I told you about Sani Abacha. Yes, Sani Abacha was bad.
Well, he made our economy boom.
Exactly. So you now have stories about these people. Yes, Sani Abacha was bad, but like you still had good things that went out to this government. They will never allow these kind of things to happen because those people will come with a nature that people will fear, and you can't really do anything in those kind of systems. Whatever they decide to do, like it is inevitable. Do you understand? That's the kind of system that we will be practicing, and nobody's ready for that kind of system because we've tested it before under military government.
Yeah.
It did not work out. Do you understand? So you're looking at all these things. So Dangote is one of the smartest men I've seen because he has put himself in positions like that. Really, you can't get rid of him. He's there for the generations to come. He's just basically done this Rockefeller.
Yeah, Rockefeller bullshit.
Basically, all this Morgan them. Like, he's put himself in a situation where
You just can't get rid of him.
you can't just get rid of him. It's not as easy as you think. So we just have to just address the issues. Like I said, the only thing that we can do is take a position for Dangote. Okay, Alpha. So these are the things. Just address this issue a bit. That's just like even if you take us beg him, but yeah, not that he has power. The government who has power, call him to order. You get call him to order and tell him, Alpha, do this. But really, you will not have them calling him to order because there are times that he has placed with people.
Yeah.
They won't just want to come out and use the relationship they have with him. Yeah, you can argue that, but then that petroleum of the thing where he had to come and beg, bro. Like I feel like it was even a stunt by Tinubu. Do you get? Because Tinubu is the kind of person that wants to make himself feel like yes, because he's president. But guess what? I feel like they obviously realize now because Dangote now is not supplying what's called petroleum. After all their robbery they make exactly now I feel like they realize that at the end of the day they still really need this guy. They still really need this person. So Dangote are just like it's not just easy as it might sound. It's not just easy because there are a lot of things you need to go through. So the best solution, not the perfect, but currently would I say the best solution just address call this guy to order, make him address the issues. Whether or not he answers or not, that's our perspective. But for as long as the government try to do something, that's all I'm like looking at.
Yeah. The problem is that the government is not even like pulling any shit. They're just acting like nothing ever happened. yeah, I feel this is it for this episode. This episode was, it was very, very enlightening for me. I mean, there are a lot of perspectives that I got to see. I thought I could just get rid of this guy, but I don't know. It's something that even runs as deep. It runs as deep. If you want to keep digging, you say that it runs into our system of government. So unless you're ready to change our system of government, which I know is not going to happen any fucking time soon, you can't get rid of this guy. He's a very smart guy, like I said. I love billionaires. Billionaires are smart. So you can't become a billionaire without being smart. So I'm not surprised that Dangote is this smart because that is the only way you can. I mean, yes, work hard and consistency and all those things, but you gotta be smart. And Dangote is obviously very smart. He has put himself in this position and you can never get rid of him. So I feel this is it for this podcast. This is it for this episode. Any thoughts, any comments, any whatever, our comment box is always open. Like, share, subscribe. Peace out.
Like